Summer's back! And with that, the need for a hassle-free portable multirotor you can take with you when you venture out. Until now, one of the better choices have been FQ777's Model 124, a fun-to-fly and reliable nano quadcopter. But in a recent and somewhat confusing move, FQ777 have decided to challenge themselves with another model, the 126C. It's still a nano and still portable, but this time a hexacopter and with a camera. How does it fare? Let's find out. Welcome to this review and flight test of the 126C nano hexacopter from FQ777. Going off pictures, the 126C hexacopter looks very much like FQ777's previous model 124, only with a different aircraft. Now it would only be natural to assume...
Come on, let me hear you say it just once, come on.
It would only be natural to assume they would be the same size, right?
WRONG!
Nope. A rough estimate says the 126C transmitter case thingy is actually about double the size of the 124's transmitter case thingy, and the same goes for the aircraft themselves. Because it's an FQ777 product, the 126C's design isn't its strong suit, with a look a little bit on the boring side and a matte black plastic, though it also comes in white and red, with the red in hindsight looking the coolest by far. It also doesn't diverge much in terms of size and weight from other nano hexacopters, weighing in at a little under 30 grams including battery and memory card. To say the 126C is feature-rich may be an understatement. FQ777 have really gone for the toy hexacopter equivalent of a Swiss Army knife here. Carry along storage? Check. On-the-go charging? Check. Removable battery? Check. 2 megapixel sensor resolution? Check. Adjustable lens angle? Check. Kinda. Headless mode? Check. Return to home button? Check. Flips? Check. Let's have a closer look at some of those check marks. The idea of using the transmitter for storing and charging the, in this case, hexacopter, is an idea that was already present and basically fully formed with the 124, which was one of the first quadcopters to pull this off well. The big hatch in the front is for the hexacopter and the much shallower hatch in the back is for the charging cable and whatever accessories you may want to bring with you. Like with the 124, you can even charge the hexacopter while it's being stored inside the transmitter, though it's still kind of a ghetto tech solution involving snaking the charging cable all the way around the transmitter. Charging the 220 mAh battery with the transmitter for me takes around an hour, which is kinda long considering the 5-minute flight time, though FQ777 have also included a regular old USB charging cable which does the job slightly faster, in around 40 minutes. One thing the 126C has, which definitely wasn't present on the 124, is a removable battery. Yes, despite being a straight up or at least close to nano in terms of size, the 126C sports a removable, replaceable battery. Before you get too excited though, it should be noted that the battery polarity is supposedly reversed and its slot is rather tight fitting, meaning the only batteries likely to work are the ones produced specifically for use with this hexacopter. I think it was generally agreed that one of the weaker points of the 124 was the transmitter. It wasn't comfortable to hold, all its unlabeled identical looking buttons gave it a rather cryptic impression, and the main offense, its sticks were too short, slippery and just plain weird. FQ777 haven't done much if anything about the first two objections. You still get that unfinished industrial vibe and they've even added more unlabeled identical looking buttons. But I'm happy to report they seem to have listened to the feedback regarding the sticks and included a set of longer, more proper feeling alternatives. Otherwise, the transmitter is basically a scaled up version of the transmitter from the 124 with some added window dressing. It even uses the same protocol so you can switch one for the other, whatever purpose that would serve. The upside of FQ777 not switching things up too much with the transmitter is that the positive things about the original also carries over. It's reliable, the range is good, and perhaps most noteworthy, thanks to some clever design, you can turn it upside down for mode 1, right-hand throttle use. The FQ777 126C is a ready-to-fly deal, and I mean ready to fly. It comes with 2 chargers, 1 USB and 1 built into the transmitter, 2 sets of sticks, 1 set of admittedly flimsy-looking prop guards, 1 full set of spare propellers, 1 4GB memory card, 1 USB memory card adapter, 1 screwdriver for installing the batteries into the transmitter.
Anything else in your pockets? No, sir. Right.
The instruction manual is just a folded dual language printout, but for the most part well written and covers all you need to know. It feels like this channel has had a lot of reviews lately that have turned out pretty negative sounding, and that's why it's such a relief to have the FQ777 126C deliver in a major way. In short, I found it to fly well, with hardly any and certainly no major issues to speak of. Though that's not to say it's gonna be the perfect choice for everyone. The 126C has a sporty attitude, with its 3, as opposed to the 124's 2, rates set pretty high. I think even the lowest is enough for most to feel perfectly happy with. leaving another 2 for those who wish to crank things, both pitch and yaw, up further. While I think it can be flown by practically all skill levels, a little bit more experienced flyers are probably the ones who will get the most out of the 126C. Nobody's perfect though, and while the 126C may fly well, it's not without flaws, or at least annoyances. The biggest one for me is the sensitivity of the throttle, which makes it unnecessarily difficult to hold a hover with, and one reason why I feel it wouldn't be perfect for a beginner. Me? Partly I just got used to it, but I also transitioned into flying outdoors, where I'd say it belongs anyway, where you don't have to worry about hitting the ceiling. I had so much fun just flying, I almost forgot to test out the camera. As stated, it's supposedly a 2 megapixel sensor, and sure enough the output video files are 720p. But is that the native resolution, or is this actually the result of some sneaky upscaling from a lower resolution? I'll let you judge. We can probably all agree it's not the crispest of 720p footage, but otherwise the video looks fine, especially considering the size and price. Another positive about the camera is that the Hexacopter certainly doesn't feel burdened by it, as has been the case with other small camera multirotors I've reviewed. As basically every toy multirotor ever manufactured, the 126C does automatic flips. These work fine, but it's one of those that overcompensates and end up gaining altitude each time, so again, watch out if flying indoors. It also does headless mode and return to home, which can help if you're starting out and find it difficult to keep track of the aircraft's orientation when flying. As most, if not all implementation of the feature in this price range though, it tends to lose track of the orientation itself if you play around with it too much. Lastly, it should be noted that the 126C is no night flyer. It has only 4 LEDs, and while they are color-coded, they don't show especially well when flying. I also found that with all these features, it's not always clear to me what's being communicated. Is it indicating I'm recording, that headless mode is active, or that the battery is low? I'm sure there's method to this madness, but unless you fly a lot, you're gonna have a hard time remembering it. My impression of FQ777 is that while their products may fall short of perfect, they care enough to maintain a somewhat consistent level of quality you simply can't expect from a lot of other manufacturers. JJRC. This holds true for the 126 as well. It has its share of annoyances and minor shortcomings, most notably the LEDs and some throttle stick wonkiness, but it's certainly no bust, and if you fly it as it wants to be flown, it can really deliver. Hello, thanks for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I promised someone in the comments another review before this one. I'm sorry, it's coming up next. In the meantime, feel free to click the thumbnails to watch some previous reviews or subscribe to stay notified of future ones. See you soon in another review. Bye!